Hi guys, Dice with Death here. Welcome back to a brand new Battlefield 5 video. Today's video is set on, I believe it's the island of Crete. It's a new Mercury map, which has just been released yesterday, a day ahead of schedule on Battlefield 5. It's been long awaited, so everyone's jumping on it at the moment. There is a just Mercury map, like rotation at the moment, where you play a game of Conquest, then a great game of Breakthrough, then back to Conquest. You don't swap sides at the moment on Breakthrough. You either play as attack or defence, and that's it. It goes back to Conquest again, unlike the normal Breakthrough where you will play a round of each. So just be aware of that. So the map itself is, as usual, it's stunning. It looks amazing. The textures, the mountainside, the villas, it all looks top notch. It reminds me a little bit of like Monte Grappa from Battlefield 1, just because of how you're up and down quite a bit on top of mountains and below mountains and little valleys. You know, it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you moving around. You've got to be aware at all times of people behind and above you, underneath. You know, it's just so, it's a verticality of the map. You're just constantly up and down, and the terrain. But it looks amazing. It plays really well. It actually plays better than I thought it would do, because Charlie, as you'll see in a little bit, is like a focal point in the middle of the map. It's quite high, so to put that into context, Delta and Echo are down the bottom, in like down the mountain towards. It's meant to be like a seaside port, which is what it looks like. And then you go up to Charlie, and then here where we are now, onto our left is Alpha, which is like a beach curve. And then to our right, as we're looking at it, is Bravo, which is like a villa. So, you know, you can imagine the guys in the villa walking down to the beach on the curve. And then obviously you've got the cliff top on the mountain top on Charlie. So, just to put that into, you know, some sort of context for you, Alpha's quite low down, as you can see with the hills. You know, sometimes you can't see enemies until you're right on top of them, just because of how, you know, how you can't, just because of the layout of the hill itself. You know, until you crest the hill, you don't necessarily see the enemies until they're right on you, which is actually quite good, to be honest. I do quite enjoy that sort of gameplay. You've got to be quick. So we're on Bravo now on this bit of the map. That's where the villa is, and as you can see, you've got the cliff just there as well, just a small one. But a lot of people will camp up there with MMGs and snipers, so be aware of that. There's Charlie up on the hilltop, if you saw that a minute ago. It's got like a satellite relay type station, like a radio station. So, you know, that's something to be aware of when you are looking around. They do have the height advantage, however the range is fairly long. So if you keep moving, it does make you quite hard to hit with a sniper rifle and an LMG. Obviously I was being tagged there, but I couldn't see him at first. There it is. So we're going to push down to Alpha again, however I'm going to go around the side a little bit. And there's another crash plane there. Look, as we said, I'm not sure, so please don't quote me as facts, but I believe it was like an airborne / glider landing. So I believe that's why a lot of the crashed planes and gliders are actually there. So that's just some added, you know, backdrop, I believe, to make it fairly factual in that respect. One of my mates said, and he's quite right, it actually looks quite a lot like Gibraltar. You know, the water itself is crystal clear. When you actually go in it, it is literally like swimming in the Mediterranean, which is obviously where this is. So, you know, they've done a really good job, and it's very aesthetically pleasing, for want of a better word. It's really nice. I know it's very uncommon for a Yorkshireman like myself to be using big words like aesthetically, But you know, I got up my thesaurus and off I went. So this is Alpha on the beach like we were talking about before. As you can see, there's quite a lot of rocks as cover, but as you just saw then, a medic, you know, if you put out smoke and stuff like that, it does make it a lot easier to take. And then as you look where I'm looking at my 12 o'clock on the screen, as you can see, it just happens there. A lot of players will go up there from their side of the spawn because they spawn that side on, so they will overlook Alpha. So just be aware of that when you are on Alpha fighting for it. If you spawned at Delta and Echo side, which I believe, hopefully, I've got some footage of in a little bit. So the map isn't like anything else in Battlefield 5. I don't think there's even anything to compare it to be honest. I don't mean its location, I just mean the way it's set out. There's nothing that really compares to it. So I can't even give you a comparison. But as you can see, you're constantly fighting over a lot of like miniature hillocks type thing. So it can make for some really interesting gameplay. There's obviously usually, as you can see, there's usually people camping on these little ledges and stuff that people seem to find. But you know, it makes it interesting, it keeps it fresh. There's always going to be, excuse me, I'm not going to start the commentary again, sorry guys. There's usually MMGs and snipers, they always find a way, don't they, to find some sort of hill to rest on. But it doesn't matter what DICE do, they'll never be able to stop that, unfortunately. It's just, you know, the individual themselves as to how they play. There's nothing that, you know, DICE can do about that, really, to be honest with you. You just have to try and ignore them as best you can. There's all these naysayers saying, oh, there's people laying on the bellies everywhere. There is, unfortunately, but then again, you know, they do it on every map on Battlefield 5. There's nothing the developers can do about that. That's just how people tend to play. I know you have to with MMGs, but you can still run around. You don't have to sit on a hill somewhere. So on the map then, we went from Charlie across to Bravo. So you can see the layout of the land there. There's lots of like little gullies, like alleyways, like we're in now, to go down. You can get some really good flanking, but not always, unfortunately. But when you do get it, it looks amazing because you can get right behind them and you can back cap flags quite easily. Which, looking at the screen in front of us, is exactly what they've done to us. They've gone around the back, probably from Alpha across to Delta and Echo. So we're going from B back up to Charlie. So as you can see there, again, you see it from the other side now. We're going up towards the hill to try and take them off. We're just up and to the left slightly. So that's the back end of the flag, so you can see how big the capture area is. It's all of that area up there you can see in front of you on the screen. So it is huge. You can literally have a running battle on Charlie. It's that big. There's that much of an area to cover, and there's always someone on it as well, always, and you can never find them because there's loads of places to hide. So to our right, just there where the ruins are, that was actually a building. You get a lot of people in there, and obviously working from there, because it's just dipped down a touch to get working from there to get back up to the top of Charlie. So that's something to just be aware of on the Charlie flag as and when you play yourselves, which hopefully you'll be putting some time into. So from here, we're just looking down onto Echo. So when I was saying about backcapping from Alpha, the road that you can see to my right slightly when I was zoomed out, that is the coastal road, which goes from Echo across to Charlie, which is your flanking route. So if you ever do spawn on Echo, or even the other side if you spawn near Alpha, you can get to Echo and Alpha without crossing up the hill towards Charlie. As you can see we're doing now, we're just going round, and Alpha's the other side of that cliff that you can see in front of us to the left. So fortifications, there are plenty of places to build fortifications, usually around and about flags. So for those of you who do enjoy fortifying positions and all that sort of good stuff. There is plenty of that on here. But anyone who looks at this map can just see how visually stunning that was. It just looks amazing. So I'm going to bow out here, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like playing the new map, and hopefully it'll bring some people back to Battlefield again who may have left due to it being a little bit stale. But that's another story. So if you did like it, guys, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. A comment about Battlefield 5 or games you'd like to see me play, if there is any. And on that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.